Hey guys, so a couple days ago I saw a video by Westy, a famous Battlefield YouTuber, that explained why Battlefield 6 should be modeled after Battlefield 4 and its corresponding unique traits and game mechanics. And I mostly agree with him. Battlefield 4 was an amazing game with great map play and a plethora of customizable features that made every player's experience unique. Many of these features haven't translated well into the more recent Battlefields, and I do believe that they should make a comeback in Battlefield 6. However, the one thing I couldn't really get behind in Westy's video was his desire for a modern setting for Battlefield 6, and hence this video, why I think the next Battlefield should be historical. Now, to look back at previous games in the franchise, I can see the appeal of a modern Battlefield game. Battlefield's rise to prevalence can be accounted for in a large part due to Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, both of which were modern shooters that were way ahead of their time. Personally, Battlefield 3 is my favorite Battlefield in the series. However, I don't think this sort of model is sustainable in today's variety of games. Today's game market is saturated with first-person modern shooters. Whether it's Warzone to Rainbow Six Siege, modern shooters are always and always will be plentiful. The open sandbox design of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 that made them so successful is replicated nearly yearly nowadays with the variety of Battle Royale games coming out. Even COD attempted a 32v32 game mode, though not very successfully, but that's beside the point. I believe Battlefield 6 will have a very tough time succeeding in the face of this innumerable competition. The only way Battlefield can thrive in the future is by introducing something unique, and I think this uniqueness comes in the form of a historical setting. The Battlefield franchise first majorly entered the historical genre of FPS shooters with Battlefield 1, a World War I shooter, and the success of this game speaks for itself. This was the highest selling Battlefield ever, and it had an immersion like no other. In fact, this game is so immersive and satisfying to this very day that I am still in awe. My favorite thing to do is to just turn off the HUD and watch the chaos unfold as teams zerg towards each other. And that's what makes this historical genre so fascinating. It is the fact that you're following in the footsteps of actual soldiers who fought in this war over a century ago. You're getting a little peek into the horrors and challenges that war presented, and you are overcoming many of the same obstacles in each game. Yeah, I know I over-exaggerated a little bit, but I just think that a historical battlefield seems so much more significant and satisfying than a modern battlefield could ever muster. Now, Battlefield 5, a World War II based shooter. Battlefield 5 has its problems, which quite honestly are more numerous than any Battlefield I've ever played, but for the things it did right, it did them phenomenally. The significance of each map, at least in the Pacific, makes the game feel so much more immersive. Whether it's hopping off the landing boat and invading the beaches of Iwo Jima as a US soldier, or a Japanese soldier desperately fighting to maintain control of the last objective on Pacific Storm, this game nails the historical immersion that it was looking to replicate from Battlefield 1. And so, despite the fact that I and the player base have voiced many problems over this game, I really do think DICE has found its niche for the Battlefield franchise. With the progression from the modern Battlefield games to the World Wars, developers have managed to keep gunplay exhilarating and satisfying, while also bringing a whole new level of immersion to the settings of the game. No other game I can think of can combine the massive, historically significant, multiplayer maps with an exhilarating and fast-paced gunplay like Battlefield has. Now, I'm not disagreeing with anything Westy said in his video. I agree with his points that maps need to be scaled up and further utilized, that weapons and vehicles need to be much more customizable, and the overall multiplayer experience needs to be the main focus of the game. Maybe even, and I don't really have any expectations for this, but maybe even making the multiplayer free. I just hope the next Battlefield falls along the lines of something like the Korean War, the Vietnam War, or even a variation of a quote-unquote hot Cold War. Anyways, let me know what your opinions on this topic are. Westy is a huge inspiration for me, so it feels kinda harrowing to be disagreeing with one of his opinions, so I would really appreciate some feedback on this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.